Students, today I am just going to start what are the measures of poverty. First, we will see in these measures of poverty, we have to determine to extent of poverty. Yes, what are those two? One, absolute poverty. Second one, relative poverty. First, I have just told you what is meant by absolute poverty. Absolute poverty refers to the total number of people living below poverty line. So the word absolute, it's nothing but which refers to the total number of people those who are living in a poverty line. And we can go with an example. According to the absolute poverty measures, around 22% of India's population is below poverty line. So that's what I just told you what is meant by absolute. Absolute is nothing but which studies about the total number of people those who are living in a poverty. So what is the example they given here? In India, 29% of people living in a below poverty line. And what is the importance in this? The concept of absolute poverty is relevant for the less developed country like India, where there is abundance of poverty. So the concept of poverty line which relevance for the less developed country like India, where there is an abundance of poverty. Yes, now let's move on to the other one, relative poverty. What is meant by relative poverty? Relative poverty refers to poverty of people in comparison to other people, regions or a nation. So, the relative poverty which refers to the poverty of the people, the region, and the nation, will be calling it as a relative poverty. See, we'll just move with an example. If Ram has lower income in comparison to Sham, then we can say that Ram is relatively poor. So it shows clearly that when we compare with the persons to person, people to people, Ram and Sham, isn't it? Sham, when we compare with the Ram, what they've given here, we can say that Ram is relatively poor. Yes, so when we compare with the Sham, Ram is relatively poor. Yes, now we'll just move with the, and we can go with an example in this. It helps to understand the relative position of different segments of a population. Yes, now how are poor people identified? In this we have two things, pre-independence and post-independence. First we'll see pre-independence. In pre-independent India, Dadabhai Naoroji was the first to discuss the concept of a poverty line, and he just compared with the jail cost of living. He assumed that 1/3 of population consists of children and half of them consumed very little, while the other half consumed half of adult diet. So 3/4 of the adult jail cost of living. So in this, Dadabhai Naoroji, the first person to discuss the concept of poverty, and he used the jail cost of living to calculate the poverty line. Yes, now we'll just move with the post-independence. In 1962, the Planning Commission formed a study group. Yes, and in 1979, Task Force on Projection of Minimum Needs and Effective Consumption Demand. And in 1989 to 2005, they formed a expert group. So from in the post-independence period, they formed different groups to analyze the poverty line. Yes, now we'll move on to the concept of poverty line. Poverty line is a cutoff point on the line of distribution which usually divide the population of the country as a poor and non-poor. So what is mean by line? Line is nothing but which cutoff point of the line of distribution. In that line, they are distributing people into two, isn't it? One is below poverty and other one is above poverty. Yes, now the people having income below the poverty line are called a poor, and the people with the income above the poverty line are called a non-poor. Yes, now we'll move with the determination of poverty line. In the determination of poverty line, we have three determination. What are those three? Minimum calorie intake, monetary value of minimum calorie intake. Poverty line divides the poor from the non-poor. First we will see minimum calorie intake which is required. The Planning Commission has defined poverty line on the basis of recommended nutritional requirement of 2400 calories per person per day for rural area and 2100 calorie per person per day in the urban area. So, first point, the Planning Commission has defined poverty line. How they have defined? They are defined with calorie, isn't it? 2400 calorie per person per day in the rural area and 2100 calorie per person per day in the urban area. So, calorie intake has been fixed for the rural area because the rural worker has to do greater physical work as compared to the urban worker. So that's what the calorie intake is higher in the rural when we compare with the urban. That's what they are mentioned, 2400 calorie per person per day in the rural and 2100 per person per day in the urban. Now let's move on to the second point, monetary value of minimum calorie intake. Again, according to the Planning Commission, the monthly per capita consumption expenditure in 2011 to 12 is worked out to be rupees 816 per person in rural area and 1000 in urban area. In urban, the consumption expenditure is higher, cost of living is higher when we compare with the rural. That's what they fixed. For the urban is 1000 and for the rural it's 816 per person in rural area. Yes. Now, third, poverty line divides the poor from the non-poor. Yes, I have told you already what is meant by poverty line. Poverty line is a cutoff point on the line of distribution. So this poverty line, there are many kinds of poor. Yes, absolutely poor, the very poor and the poor. Yes, I repeat again, there are many kinds of poor, the absolutely poor, the very poor and the poor. Similarly, there are various kinds of non-poor, middle class, the upper middle class, the rich, the very rich and the absolutely rich. The poverty line divide the poor from the non-poor. Yes, so when we have looked at this, in that line, yes, the poverty line, yes, the people those who are like absolutely poor, like very poor and very poor, they will come under in a below poverty line. Yes, and some categories of various kinds of people like non-poor, the middle class, upper middle classes, the rich and the very rich, billionaires will be calling it as a non-poor, above poverty line. Yes, I have told you already, we are considering with the income. The people those are getting income below the poverty line, we are calling it as a poor. The people with getting income above the poverty line, we are calling it as a non-poor. Yes, now let's move on to the categorizing poverty. Poverty has been categorizing in three ways: chronic poor, transient poor, non-poor. What is meant by chronic poor? Yes, it includes people who are always poor and those who are usually poor. Always poor people will be calling it as a chronic. Yes, and transient poor may be classified as a churning poor. Yes, who regularly move in and out. Example, we can give it as a small farmer. Yes, and occasionally poor, who are rich most of the time and poor sometime. We are calling it as a transient poor. Third one will be calling it as a non-poor. They are never poor. These are the three categorizing of poverty: chronic, transient, non-poor. What is chronic? Always poor, usually poor. We'll be calling it as a chronic. And transient poor is nothing but churning poor, who regularly in and out, or occasionally poor, who are rich most of the time and poor sometime. Non-poor, they are never poor. Yes. Now let's move on to the poverty line. I have told you already, the monthly per capita expenditure calorie intake 2400 calorie per person in the rural area and 2100 calorie for in the urban area. Apart from that, the consumption expenditure in 2011 to 12, 816 in the rural and 1000 in the urban area.